Hi everyone, we're going to try this out. So what we're going to look at today are triangle congruences. And on this screen, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at some different possibilities. So just a reminder what our triangle congruencies are. We have side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. So when we're talking about congruency, we want them to be the exact same. So let's say we have this triangle right here. Let's call it ABC. I'm going to call this side 7, and we're going to say this angle is 60. This angle is 40. And over here we have triangle DEF. I know this is going to be so creative. You're going to love it. This is 7. This is 60, and this is 40. Now, it's important to notice that the 7 here is right next to the 60, but is not included with the 40 degrees. So here, if you look, the side that's 7 is right by the 60, but is also right by the 40. So those two are not what we're looking for. Those two are not congruent. So let's look at the next one here, where the next one is going to be GHI. This is 7, this is 40, and this is 60. Now, the first this triangle right here, GHI, is not the same as the first triangle ABC because, all right, where were we at? So,
Mommy,
ABC,
this is hot.
Okay, ABC is not the same as GHI, and we already talked that ABC is not the same as DEF. Now, let's look at DEF and GHI. If you look, the 7 is still with the 60 and the 40, and here the 7 is also with the 40 and the 60. Now, just because the pictures are drawn the way they are doesn't mean that this is exactly how they're just a sketch. So if you look at it, these two triangles have to be this congruent. So if you look at triangle DEF, it has to be congruent to triangle. Now notice I went from D to E, so I went from the 60 to the 40 along the 7 side. So that means I need to start with the 60. So I'm going to say H, and I'm going to go to the 40, which is G, and the last letter is I. And they are congruent by which one of these 4? Now notice we have 2 angles and the side in between them. So 2 angles, angle, angle, and the side is in between them. So by angle, side, angle. So that's one of our congruencies there. So now, let's keep going. Oh, where was I at? Right here. So now if we look, we have J, K, L. This is 7, this is 40, and this is 60. Now this looks super familiar right here. However, the side that's 7 is right next to the angle that's 60. So that doesn't quite work either. So let's look at the last one I have drawn over here. MNO. We're going to call that 7. This is 60 and this is 40. Now, if you look at our first triangle ABC, and we look at this guy here, we have the side that's 7 right next to the angle that's 60. Same thing as right here. So let's take a peek over here. If I look at triangle ABC, let's see, that would be congruent to triangle. So now A is the angle with the 60. So over here, the angle with the 60 is the N. So I'm going to say N. And then I went along the side that was the 7. So I'm going to go along the side that's the 7. M-O. So if you look at those two, they would be congruent because they each have an angle, and the side not between them. So angle, angle, no. Oh, that's angle, angle, but that's the side in between them. Where here, if you look, you have an angle, angle, and then the non-included side. So these are congruent by angle, angle, side. And we're going to go ahead and do another one here. So here's the next set of triangles. I pre-drew them out for us. to go ahead and take a look at. So if we look at the first guy, the only thing I know is I know a side, and a side. So if I look at the other triangle, so let's look and see. This one I only know 2 of the sides, I don't know the third one. And then if you look here, I know the side, and the side. And if you'll notice, the 5 matches the 5. The 7 has a 7. The 10 matches the 10. So I know those two triangles will be congruent. So I know triangle ACE is congruent to triangle WXY by, and it's the 3 sides that we know, so by side, side, side. So now let's go ahead and look at the other triangles that we have. Let's look here. We have a 5, a 40, and a 10, and the 40 is in between the 5 and the 10. And if you look here, we have a 5, a 40, and the 10, and the 40 is in between them. Versus over here, if you look, the 40 is down there. It's not between the 2 sides. This guy does not work. He has no buddy. But these guys right here, because the 40 is between the 2 angles, or the 40 is between the 2 sides on both of those triangles, those guys are congruent. So I know that triangle BDF, oopsies, is congruent to triangle. So I started with B, went to D, and so that's the side that goes along the 5. So I need to do this side here. So I'm going to go J, K, which leaves me with the O. And that is by, so if you look here, we have side, angle, side. The angles between the 2 sides. Side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Perfect. Now there is one more case that I haven't really talked about right here yet, that I'm going to because it's on the suggested homework for you to look at. And that's the one that we refer to as hypotenuse leg, which we abbreviate as HL. On the little 10-question mini quiz online, I'll give you points if you do it thing, they refer to it as right angle hypotenuse another side. So right angle hypotenuse another side. And so what that means is, give me 1 second. I'm going to delete this. See how well I do. I did okay. Okay. So let's say oopsies, didn't work. There we go. So if we have, oh my goodness, there we go. So if we have a right triangle, if we have 2 right triangles, and then you know they're right triangles because they have a right angle, and let's say I told you the hypotenuse is 13, and I told you that this angle is 12, or this side is 12, sorry, and this side is also 12. By hypotenuse leg, we know that triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2. On the little optional quiz thing, let me look and see if I can figure out what it is really quick. I know you can see this, and that's okay. No. Oh, they call it RHS. There it is. So on, oopsies. So on the optional homework thing, they call it RHS, right angle, hypotenuse, side. And there you go. So thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed.